Hi everyone, welcome to this session on HBS 11 Plus information event. Before we jump into the presentation, let's have a look at what we'll be covering as part of today's session. We'll have a brief introduction to the 11 Plus exam. We'll talk about HBS exam pattern and scoring. What is the process to apply or key timelines? We'll have a generic discussion about how do you choose the right school for your child, how to prepare for HBS 11 class. We'll have a brief discussion on mock exams, and finally, we'll have some Q&A. So as we go along this session, in case something comes to your mind, please feel free to put it in the chat, or you can WhatsApp it to me, and we'll try to take as many questions as possible towards the end. Yeah. So a copy of this PPT will be shared with you in the next couple of days, so you don't really need to note down anything. All of the information in this PPT will be made available to you. A small disclaimer, we always encourage parents to do their own research. So we have done a lot of research and this PPT is a result of that. But we would always encourage you to do your own research as well and double check everything. Let's have a brief introduction to the HBS 11 plus exam. So 11 plus in general is the selective entrance examination for entrance into one of the grammar schools. So the exam is for entry into year 7, and that means the exam itself is taken at the start of year 6. So that is in September. HBS has two rounds. In round 1, you have paper 1, which is English, which is about 25 minutes, 25 questions. The unique thing about HBS paper is generally it tends to be based on one passage. So there is one passage and all 25 questions, stem from that passage usually. So that is something a little bit unique about the HBS pattern. Paper 2 is verbal reasoning, which is about 20 minutes and you can expect around 30 to 34 questions. Paper 3 is NVR, which is only 8 minutes in duration and contains about 18 questions. The key points are all the questions are multiple choice type. So there is no standard format and there is no maths or creative writing in round 1. So there are these 3 papers. And if you clear these 3 papers, you go to round 2. The setter for the exam is GL assessment. And like I said, if you do well in round 1, then you get selected into round 2. Okay, so each year, around 300 students are selected for round 2 examination. I think we'll come to that later in the presentation. So the exam pattern for round 2 is we have a maths paper, which is standard question type. So here, this is not multiple choice, and you actually need to type in your answers. And they're going to be around 25 questions with subparts. So there was no negative marking in the last couple of years, but a couple of years back, there used to be 2 sections to this paper. One had negative marking and was MCQ type. So, but now currently there is no negative marking. So everything is standard type without any negative marking. Paper 2 is English, which is essentially creative writing. So two kind of questions are expected in this section. One is you will be provided with a short passage and there will be some descriptive questions to answer based on your reading of the passage. And second could be a pure creative writing task like a diary entry, story writing, a letter to your MP, stuff like that. Yeah. So this is round 2. This is a brief overview of the 4 sections. What are the main topics which are included? So this is not a comprehensive list by any measure, but this should contain most of the topics that you will be asked. So let's talk a little bit about exam scoring. So there are 3 terms that you need to understand how the scores are calculated. The first one is the raw score. So that is basically how many questions you got right. So for example, let's say there are 25 questions and you get 20 right. So 20 is your raw score. So 20 or 80% is your raw score. Now this has the disadvantage that it does not take relative scoring into account. So is 20 out of 25 a good score or a bad score would depend on how others have done as well, right? So that's why a lot of schools don't use raw scores as the criteria, but they use something called standardized score. So standardized score is basically a measure of relative performance. So how was your score relative to others? The typical range for standardized scores is 60 to 141, 141 being a perfect score and 100 being the mean score. The last thing you need to understand is age standardized scores. So what the councils like to do is, because there can be up to a year's difference between the oldest and the youngest child, they like to award the younger children certain additional points to compensate them for, up to a year less of brain development. So this is a physiological thing. So what happens is the younger students get certain extra points, but nothing gets taken away from the older students. So and it's just a couple of extra points. So when the the score range is 60 to 141, so capable students can definitely get in even without this benefit. If you have an older child. Hopefully, this explains to you how the scoring works. Let's talk about the admission process in a little more detail. So the number of seats expected each year is around 104. And the admission priority is students give round one. If you do not pass round one, you are not invited to round two, and you can get your standardized score and the cutoff for round two. In case you do pass round one, that is generally the top 10%, but top 300 students get invited to round two. Typical score range, standardized score range would be 347 to 423. So this is the combined standardized score of English, VR, and NVR sections. Yeah. So now, in case you get a round two invite, that is you are in the top 300 students, and you are in catchment, that is within a 3 mile radius, then you would be offered admission. So you just have to appear for round two, but round two scores are not going to matter that much for admission. In case you are not in catchment, then the round two scores do matter, and your round one and round two combined score is what is going to get you admission. And admission is offered as per the merit list of round one and round two combined scores. Hopefully that makes sense. In terms of catchment move-in dates, currently the move-in date is 31st October. So what you could ideally do is you could give the round one exam, get the results, and after that you could plan your move as long as it is before the 31st of October. But the councils are getting more and more stringent on this criteria, and the school is a little bit, it has a little bit of a policy which is not very clear on this. So their website says that if you do move in very close to the exam date, then the council has a right to understand if you have moved just for the exam, or is it a long-term move. So there are things like if you have another property, they would like to see if that property has been rented out, etc. So they just want to make sure that you are going to stay at that property, and that is going to be your long-term residency. So there are a number of proofs they might ask you. For example, GP registration certificate, what have you done with your old property, etc. So the school is a little bit tight-lipped on this, that what is the exact criteria they're going to ask, but they want to make sure that you have moved in for the right reasons. So my suggestion is, if you are interested in HBS, definitely plan your move beforehand and do not leave it to the last minute, because there will be a lot of administrative queries which they can undertake. Yeah. If you have any doubts upon this, please put it in the chat, and we will try to tackle it towards the end, whatever I can help with. So admission policy document is here. So this is a link. Once you get the presentation, you will be able to click and go to the policy document and read about it yourself. Now, a question which a lot of parents ask is it worth preparing if your child is not within the catchment? So if you don't live within the 3 mile radius, is it still worth preparing for this exam? To give you some statistics, a total of 120 seats were offered a couple of years ago, and under the 3 mile radius, only 23 offers were accepted. So that means around 100 seats were offered to students which were outside the 3 mile radius. So there are a lot of students who are going to get seats just based purely on merit. So it is worth applying to, even if you're not within the catchment. If this is one of the schools you're really interested in, I would say it definitely makes sense to apply. And there are a number of seats which are going to go as purely as per merit. In terms of key admission dates, let's have a look at this. So last year, admission registration opened on the 1st of April and it closed on 11th of July. So between these two dates, you had to register for the exam. The HBS open day was on the 3rd of July, when you can actually visit the school and find out a lot more information about it. The first round of the test happened on the 2nd and 3rd of September, and the second round is expected to happen in early October. After you give the rounds, the national offer day is 2nd of March next year. That is when you will find if you have been offered a place in round one. In the first round of allocation. Now let's talk about how do you select the right school for your child. Now, one of the main parameters a lot of parents used is academic ranking. So this is obviously very important, but there are a number of other parameters you should consider as well. So let's have a look at what those are. The first one is commute. So don't idly take admission in a school which is very far away from your place of planned residence. If the child is going to spend an hour or more each way commuting, then you will find as they grow older, the academic pressure increases, the pressure of extracurriculars increases. So this commute is going to be very detrimental to them having a full flavored academic life. For a lot of parents, having a mixed sex or single sex school is important. So obviously HBS is a girls only school. So in case you prefer a mixed sex school, then you might need to consider other options as well. School demographic is important to some parents. So if you want a better representation of the community, then do consider the school dynamics as demographics as well. Similarly, there are some other criteria like school infrastructure and school specialty. So if these things are important to you, I would highly recommend going on to the open days, talking to the faculty, interacting with the school student body, and finding out what these things are for yourself. Now, coming to the academic ranking, which is obviously very important, there are a number of rankings which are available. We generally recommend the Good School Guide. So this guide ranks schools based on attainment rate and progress rate. So attainment rate is basically the school takes the 8 most important GCSE subjects and how the students have performed in that. Progress rate is when they entered the school, what was their level of these 8 GCSE subjects versus how they performed in the GCSEs themselves. Now, this ranking is based on progress 8. Now, HBS, some rankings call it the best school for girls. And if you look at attainment 8 scores, this is actually one of the highest, scores for any girls' school. So HBS is definitely one of the top girls' schools in the country. These rankings do reflect that. But if you go by attainment rate, it is actually one of the best, very best schools for girls in the country. Now let's talk about how do you prepare for the exam. So there are a couple of components for the preparation. The first is how do you cover the theory parts. Now we recommend bond handbooks and CGP study books. So these are very nicely organized. So they take you through the key question types and then they give you a lot of practice on those key question types as well. At Oxbridge Institute, we have our own preparation camps. So let me take you through the maths camp that's happening in October. So these are brand new camps which we have designed for 2025. And the key features are there will be full theory coverage. So we'll take you through all the important theory topics. Students will get tons of practice. So in the maths camp, over 500 practice questions are going to be there. We have a live review class every day, 6 to 6:30 p.m., where students will be able to apply the knowledge they have learned in the day. And we will have a live doubt session from 6:30 to 7 p.m. So in case you don't understand anything from one of the topics, you can obviously come here and we'll try to resolve your doubts. Similarly, we'll be having other camps throughout the year. So we'll have vocabulary booster in December, English camp in February, NVR and VR camps in April because it's a longer break, and then accuracy booster in May. So all of these camps are held during the term breaks. So whenever the school is off, we hold these camps because students have a lot of time, and this kind of helps fill in those gaps in a very productive manner. And in this 1 week, we try to cover the whole syllabus for that particular topic and give students a lot of practice. A lot of families use these camps alongside their regular tuition just to get another layer of preparation in. We also have a lot of students who are self-prepping at home, which use these camps to make sure they have covered all the topics and gain confidence. So if you are part of our WhatsApp group, then you can get a one day free trial as well. So without any commitment, you can take that trial, and if you like the camp, you can proceed. Yeah. So I'll be sharing details later on how you can join our WhatsApp group if you're not already part of it. So please wait for that. In terms of the next stage of preparation, how do you practice your regular exam style questions? Bond and CGP have their assessment papers and 10-minute tests, which are really good. So these are highly recommended for practice. At Oxbridge Institute, we have our online books, that is 10-minute, 15-minute, and 20-minute books. So these contain 10 tests each of this duration. The 15-minute and 20-minute tests are highly recommended for schools like HBS. So the tough London schools, these books are highly recommended for those. Then we come to mock exams. So your mock exam journey does not have to start with paid and competitive exams. You can get these GL practice tests. So these are tests which are set by GL themselves for extra practice, and these are really good. So the quality is really good. You do get the answers, but unfortunately, detailed solutions are not provided. Nevertheless, these are quite good for regular practice, so we do highly recommend them. Now, in terms of competitive mock exams, we offer online mocks, at-home mocks, and physical mocks. So our online mock exams will be starting in February 2026, physical mocks from May 2026. And if you wanted to experience one of our older physical mocks, then they are available as at-home mocks. So you can order these, they come to your home, you do them as per the exam conditions mentioned, and you give us a snap of the answer sheet, and we'll give you a full cohort report as if you were present at the time of the actual exam. So these are some of the mock exam options we offer. For our physical mock exams, these are obviously center-based mocks. You get to keep the exam paper. You will find that a lot of providers don't like to give you the exam paper because they want to reuse the same exam next year. Now, with all of our physical mocks, we make them brand new every year. So the 2026 mocks will be made in 2026 itself. Now, what this allows us to do is to keep up with the latest exam pattern. So we are going to take feedback from our students this year, and based on the level of difficulty of the actual exam, we will modify next year exams to make them as close to the actual exam as possible. Our physical mocks are £40 each, but you can get a bundle of 3 exams for £100. Now, the key thing here is that we also do exams for other formats like Sutton, CSSE, FSCE, GL, QE. In case you are going to give more than one exam, let's say you are giving HBS and Sutton. So what you could do is you could get the 3 exam bundle, and you could, let's say, get 2 HBS and 1 Sutton. So you could split it like that as per your requirements. Yeah. Like I mentioned, the physical exams are going to happen in May, July, and August. The exact dates and venue are to be confirmed, and we are hoping to confirm this in the next 2 months. Let me take you through an all-inclusive package. This is a very good package if you're concerned about costs of 11 plus education. Now, as part of this package, in terms of online resources, all of our subject camps are included. The specialist camps like vocabulary booster and accuracy booster are included. All of our online books are included. In terms of mock exams, you get 3 online mocks, 3 physical mocks, and 3 at-home mocks. The total RRP of this bundle comes to be around £1,000, but you can get it at a reduced price of £500. This offer bundle price is going to be available till 31st of December 2025. So what this means is, let's say you do the maths camp next month, and you pay for that, but you still decide that you want to go for the bundle. So up till 31st December, you just need to pay the difference of price what you've already paid and the £500, and you will get the complete bundle. So remember, this is only available till 31st of December. Now, one thing which we introduced this year is we introduced these free master classes. So this is just a way of students or to get involved and learn from us without any payment. So what we do is we generally do these master classes twice in a month, either Saturday 2 p.m. or Sunday 12 noon. So we'll be covering a number of things as part of these classes. Currently, we are looking at primary maths challenge. So this is if students are interested in maths competitions. So the primary maths challenge happens in November. So we are, helping children prepare for that. We will be holding doubt sessions for these GL exams as well as our Oxbridge books. So you can get doubt support from us. We'll also be covering theory aspects, the basic theory aspects for all the 4 topics as part of these master classes. If you want to join these, please WhatsApp me on this number. So currently we are doing the primary maths challenge, but after this is over, we'll be looking at the basics for these other things as well. If you're a part of our WhatsApp group, we'll always be mentioning in there what we are doing, so you can always remain updated. So we are doing a number of parent information sessions. Bucks, Sutton, QE has already happened. We are currently at HBS. Just give me 1 minute. The only session that's going to be remaining is we have a session on maths challenges, which is going to happen on October the 5th. Yeah. If you have missed any of these and you wanted a recording, please let me know and we can provide that to you. In case you are based near Harrow, we are going to be a part of the Jito Mega Fair, which is going to happen on the 4th of October. So we are going to have a stall there. So if you are coming, you are most welcome and we would love to interact with you at that place. So guys, finally, if you want to contact me, my email is sumit@oxbridgeinstitute.co.uk. We do have a live chat feature on the website, which is usually manned, or you can WhatsApp me on this particular number. So like I mentioned, a copy of this presentation will be coming to you in the next couple of days. That will have my contact information as well. So in case you need anything, please do mention. With this, we come to the end of the presentation. In case you have any queries, please put it in the chat or you can WhatsApp me as well. Okay, somebody sent me a WhatsApp query. So they are saying, when will the results come out? Would we know before the CAF deadline if we are going to be offered admission? So the way it happens is the round 1 will happen early in September and the round 2 will happen in October. Unfortunately, you will not have the round 2 results before the CAF deadline. So you would not have a guaranteed place, but the school will let you know in case you have not passed round 2. So in case you have not passed round 2, then you don't need to mention the school as part of your CAF form. But in case the school says that you have not failed, so basically it's worth putting this school in your CAF form. And the way it will happen is the school will submit all your scores to the council, and then the council will decide the cutoff based on how many students have applied and what scores they have achieved. So, in summary, you will not unfortunately know if you are guaranteed a place before the 31st October deadline, but you would have a fair indication that if you are a part of the 300 and if you have a genuine chance of getting into the school. Yeah. Any other questions? Somebody is saying, how would you compare HBS and non-such? Unfortunately, that's a very difficult comparison. Both of them are really good schools. Like I said, don't go just by the academic ranking. Actually, go to the schools where they offer open days and, let the child make up their mind. They are both top schools, nothing taken away from any of them. And, let the child decide. Sometimes the commute is a big factor as well. And sometimes children just fall in love with the place. So when they look at the facilities, they might have a preference of one school over other. Yeah. Any other queries? So guys, please do join our WhatsApp group. And if you have any queries, you can always ask there. So I am there and a lot of other parents are also there. So, there will be somebody who can hopefully, answer your queries for you. So please wait for this email. It will come to you in the next couple of days. And any queries, I look forward to engaging with you. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye.